Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lori Dolan, and I work with the IPARKS Loss Control team to help provide loss control resources to IPARKS members. This afternoon, I'm going to provide a brief overview of the resources available exclusively to IPARKS members through the resource eLibrary. This was given a complete overhaul and launched in April of this year, so if you've been on it before, it's going to look very different. And one of the great new features of the eLibrary is that it's now mobile friendly. If you enter the eLibrary through your phone or a tablet, the formatting will adjust and the user will be able to navigate with a search bar from the mobile screen. So we enter the eLibrary through the IPARKS website. If you need a username and password, please drop me an email. My email address, and I will say it again in case anybody doesn't catch it the first time, but it's Lori, L-O-R-Y, .Dolan at York, Y-O-R-K, RSG.com. As you can see, there are a number of resources and libraries available. They are shown here in the middle and up here at the top under resources. We have a DVD library with a shopping cart that pops up. You order your DVDs through that shopping cart. They're delivered to your door with a postage paid return envelope, very much like Netflix. We also have online training, video streaming, thousands of documents, presentations, recorded seminars, in addition to Public Entity University and the Human Resources Library. While I'm up here, I'm going to just show you that we do have a site search up here, so you can type in distracted, and up will pop a list of all the resources that are hosted in our library on distracted driving. We have DVDs, documents, presentations, online training, all available for your use at no charge. I'm going to come back to searching in a moment, but I just wanted to highlight that search feature for you. I don't want to spend hours on this library like I could, so I'm going to focus on two of our newest sections. The first one I'm going to talk about is Public Entity University. Public Entity University is a vendor-driven portal. It was added to the library in 2015, and in here you will find 12 workplace colleges. In here there are over 300 online training courses, all of the online training a Park District could need. These courses are in-depth and very well done. Most are about an hour long and very much well worth your time. And while all of the colleges apply to Park Districts to varying degrees, there are two specifically tailored to our Park Districts. First one up here is Parks and Recreation. And in here, in the Parks and Recreation College, you are going to find online training courses specific to parks, including landscape safety, safety awareness for seasonal employees, working in extreme temperatures, bloodborne pathogens, just a great deal of courses that will assist Park District personnel. And we also have another college that I'd like to highlight for you, because given the season, the summer season, I'd like to highlight this Keeping Children Safe College. In here, we have a lot of courses for your use. Aquatic safety, the professional lifeguard, playground safety and supervision, and then a lot of camps for day camps that many park districts run all summer long. I have not seen them all, of course, but this aquatic safety one, it's I have to tell you, it's a very excellent course, but it's a little disturbing in that it shows an actual drowning that had been recorded on security cameras. I think there's, as awful as it is, there's no better way to train than to see, you know, 9 lifeguards all doing something wrong at exactly the same time, which resulted in the death of a child. So I think that these courses are well worth your time. And while Parks and Recreation, of course, is the primary purpose of park districts, we have also libraries on human resources, where you'll find courses on conflict management, diversity, ethics, sexual harassment prevention. I mean, there are so many courses in here, really everything that you could imagine from an employee point of view. We also have this employment liability college, and in here it's more of a supervisor focus, so we're going to have our federal laws. We'll have the Americans with Disabilities Act, HIPAA training, wage and hour laws, Family Medical Leave Act, Fair Labor Standards Act. All of that is covered in the employment liability. So again, anything that you could imagine, I think is somewhere in this library. And please note that when you are using this library, the search function is here, and you're actually in our vendor site at this point, so any searching that you want to do needs to be done here. The site search on our library will not include the courses in Public Entity University. There's just technologically no way to do that. The other library that I'd really like to focus on today is the Human Resources Library. In here, you're going to find some fabulous resources and tools to assist you in all your human resources needs. And actually, human resources is a little not as broad as this library is. There are things in here you wouldn't expect to find, and I'll run those, give you an example of that. But first, let's go through the tools that are located in this library. First tool that we're going to talk about is the Handbook Builder. Here you can customize an entire employee handbook or add individual policies to your existing handbook. And if you have an existing handbook and you have all the policies you need, it's a great idea to just go in here and see what they have. Make sure that they don't have anything that you hadn't thought of. It's great to be able to add those policies in. I'm not going to launch the Handbook Builder because our time is limited, but please come visit this section. It gives, there's just so much good information available here. Another tool available in the HR library is job descriptions. Now in the job descriptions, you choose a career cluster, and here we can go to education and training, for example, and then a pathway. And I was playing around with this all day. There, you can search, and there's some great job descriptions in here. I was looking at the fitness and wellness coordinators because it sounded something like something most park districts would have. You click on Start with this job, and it provides you some information, and some you would fill in yourself, but the tools and technology, it talks about things that a fitness and wellness coordinator would want to be familiar with, AEDs, free weights, etc. But I also liked this down here was that they also have sample wage, median wages, just to give you an idea of what's out there. And I like that, you don't have to go Googling, it's all here. Back to tools, what are you doing today? You can start glancing through here, and we're looking to hire a new person. We're hiring someone today. And it gives you some resources. I need to interview. What are some good resources that might help me do that? So it tells you, well, you got to comply with the ADA. And it goes through and kind of gives you just some information that might help in your task of the day. In addition to the tools, the HR library also has a great deal of resources. I always start, I just click on resources and I always start at the top. As you can see, the last time they added a document or resource was June 14th, so always there's the date that it was added, and I love that feature because you want to know that you're using current information. The most recent resources pop up first, so I start there, look at it, see if there's anything that I want to look at there. And please note here, this is a webinar. I'm going to come back to that and explain a little bit about the webinars in a minute. But so once I decide whether there's anything here I want to look to, now I'm going to go and find what I am looking for. So this library allows you to look for your state-specific resources. So we go to Illinois, and all the Illinois resources pop up. The minimum wage poster, oops, where's that? Illinois minimum wage poster, so you can print it for free right from this website. You don't have to, all those posters that you're required by state and federal law to have in your break room can all be accessed here. You can make sure you have the most recent version here and then print it and not have to order it online. You can also limit your research by the type, and you can search the site up here in the right-hand corner. The last item that I wanted to highlight is that every month this vendor, this human resources vendor, provides free webinars, and hopefully you're receiving those monthly invitations for webinars. Again, if you are not, please drop me an email at Lori, L-O-R-Y, .Dolan, D-O-L-A-N, at yorkrsg.com, and we'll get you on our distribution list for the e-blasts that contain the invitation. And anyway, these webinars are recorded and then stored here on the site so that you can watch them anytime if you were not able. Oh, it's because I have state specific. I apologize. Webinars. There we go. So the there we go. I apologize. So the webinars that are hosted monthly are then posted here after the fact, and you can watch them at any time if you were not able to watch the live version. And there are opportunities for continuing ed credits when those webinars are viewed. You can also, if you're looking, these deep dive podcasts looks very interesting to me. They are all, you know, a podcast is a great thing to listen to on your phone on a drive. So I think this is a new addition to this portion of the portal, and I'm very happy to see that they're making use of all technology, including podcasts. Please note that when you're using this HR library, like Public Entity University, you are actually on the vendor site. So if you like to search, it has to be done within this HR library. And in fact, one thing I mentioned earlier is not specific to human resources. I looked up cell phones because we were going to be driving on a vacation, and I wanted to see the cell phone laws in all the states. They all popped up. You can also include just the Illinois one, but we were driving through a number of states and I wanted to know the laws. So I went through and every state I needed was available here, their cell phone laws. So it's even a little bit more broad than just human resources. So that search function is available for you. That concludes the short tutorial that I wanted to give you on our library today. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them, or again, feel free to drop me an email.